UFOs or life on other planets. What does the U.S. government know about UFOs or life on other planets? For generations, the question has been asked and answered in art, books, film, and television, and Washington is prying into the issue with increasing focus.
Welcome to the first annual Disclosure Forum.
I'm here at an event called the Disclosure Forum. We're hearing from academics, business leaders, religious leaders, and politicians who are calling for greater government transparency or disclosure.
At the heart of this forum were the hundreds of reports that have been in government storage, unavailable to the public for decades. Reports of civilian and military accounts of flying, hovering, blinking objects that appeared in the daytime or, more often, nighttime skies. In May 2026, President Trump began releasing these files, ordering that they be posted directly on a Department of Defense website.
We're releasing a lot of information having to do with extraterrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it.
After decades of secrecy, stigma, and sometimes silliness, the government has begun taking things seriously. What used to be called UFOs and now go by UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena, are being given the full investigatory treatment. Congressional hearings were held in 2022 and 2023.
UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine.
In 2022, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office was established to detect, identify, and attribute objects of interest, especially on or around military bases and installations. In December 2023, then-President Joe Biden signed into law the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Disclosure Act as part of the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act. The UAP portion of the law requires collection, preservation, review, and public disclosure of all evidence of relevant sightings and encounters. And just this past June, the White House established the UAP Science Advisory Council to study the national security risks posed by UAPs.
The real test is that we will come up with a clearer understanding of UAP, so everyone would know what we are talking about.
Last year, the nonprofit Disclosure Foundation was launched with the aim of encouraging the release of UAP reports and formulating government policy related to UAPs. On June 25, 2026, the foundation convened the Capitol Hill Forum. The day-long event featured political figures from both sides of the aisle. Throughout the day, experts discussed the technological, national security, economic, psychological, and even religious implications of UAPs.
Today, experts that rarely occupy the same room are gathered here in this room to discuss a subject that was, until very recently, untouchable.
The speakers acknowledged that in some respects they were there at their peril, since publicly discussing the matter of flying saucers still carries some reputational risk.
You're Black from Indiana, you're Muslim, and now you're talking about UAPs.
But it's a measure of the growing public interest in the phenomena and the mounting evidence that something is out there that more and more serious people are willing to take that risk. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the so-called Tic Tac incident, which occurred off the coast of Southern California in 2004. During an otherwise routine deployment that year, radar personnel belonging to the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group repeatedly noticed the reflection of a skittering airborne object they could not explain. To crack the mystery, a team of flyers was scrambled into the sky. Once aloft, they discovered what they estimated to be a 45-foot-long flying machine that bore a striking resemblance to a Tic Tac breath mint. The belief seems to be bipartisan. According to a poll conducted by the Disclosure Foundation just weeks before the Capitol Hill Forum, 84% of respondents want more information from the government on UAPs, 69% believe UAPs are real, 59% support hearings and transparency laws, and just 21% trust the federal government to be telling the complete truth. The responses cut across party lines. A statistically meaningless 1% separates the whopping 89% of Republicans and 88% of Democrats who say they want more information on UAPs. UAP transparency has a fixed endpoint. The government will tell all it knows, the sightings will be investigated, and their origins will be determined to be terrestrial, highly advanced military or other assets, or epically extraterrestrial. Whether the stuff of science fiction becomes the stuff of true life, who can say? But a more serious approach could lead to a profound shift in humanity as we know it. What does
Shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to our apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching us His truth according to the Bible and Ruel. No shalom, all the sincere Aki unto what the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity and in charity and El Shalom. To all you sincere followers, believers of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, not just hearers of the word, but doers as well, you men, women, and children, the hopeful elect, Shalom. Sorry for the long video, but everyone wants to know. And here it is, the prophets have been telling you what these UAPs and UFOs are according to the scriptures. All right, and you know, that's what we've been set up to do, is to feed you, all right, with the wisdom, knowledge, to understand the scriptures. And let's grab a couple of precepts and wrap it on up. You know, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And the first thing when I saw this video made me think about was Zechariah 5. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll," right? Like, you know, like they talking about the little tic-tac, what is it, tic-tac, whatever it is, like the breath mint thing, all right? And said, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it. And maybe think about Esau, you know, the heathen 2/3. When that destruction comes, man, they're going to get caught up in it. These highly intelligent vehicles of the Lord are going to do some damage. The Lord said, what shall I be if all should be kindled? Something to that effect. You know, this place is already going to be on fire, but, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the hosts, all right, the band of angels are going to come through and with more fire. Verse 4, Zechariah 5:4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, right? St. John 10:10 comes to mind. You know, self-proclaimed so-called white man has he's the thief. He stole everything. He stole nationalities. He stole lands. He stole people. Gold, silver, everything this man has in possession, he has stolen. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. And that's what you're going to see play out in these latter days, the destruction of America. The destruction of the self-proclaimed so-called white man's kingdom. And this is why they're scrambling. This is why they're nervous, because the people want answers. And the answers, the true answers, they don't want to give the people. Because then again, it all goes back to, well, if this is in the Bible, what else does the Bible say? It says that you are the Edomites. And then you're going to have true rebellion. going to be true chaos. There was another one that came to mind. Acts 9. And I started 9. It's Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. All right. Now, let me see here. This is not what I wanted, but I bring it out. It's Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all quit the wicked. All right. So you Edomites, you Hebrew Edomites, subsequent so-called white man, woman, and child, the Lord's not going to let you off. All right. You know, the atrocities that you have done in the earth has a tab, and you're getting ready to pay for it. The destruction you've done in the earth, the lies you put forth. That's why this fire is coming. That's why you're seeing more chariot sightings, okay? The judgment of Esau, Edom is nigh. It's close. We just got to keep prophesying and standing on lot and praying that we're part of that elect number to be delivered. It says, the Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storms, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Let me see here. I know it's in I think it's Psalms 10 something. Yep, Psalms 104. Psalms 104. And I started at the top. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord, Yahweh Shai, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain. The many mansions, boy. It says, verse 3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. All right. And, you know, a chariot is something, you know, let's get that real quick. Psalms 104. I want to look up something. Okay. Because your car is a chariot. All right. A plane is a chariot. Okay, Esau don't have it. As a representation of the chariots, what the world called UFOs. Because when you go back here to Acts, oh yeah, Acts 1, and yeah, start 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Now these chariots, these UFOs are you know, sometimes they're cloaked in the clouds, man. You know, you see these different UFO clips. They'll show you that you know, they're in the midst of the skies, man. The clouds, they appear themselves. Okay. It says, and it's just talking about Yahweh Shai, and while they looked steadfastly towards heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them with white apparel, which, you know, these were angels, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? All right, because it was in a, you know, in awe, as you can say, like, you know, wow, in amazement. He says, Acts 1 and 11, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in the like manner as ye seen him go into heaven. So the same way he left is the same way he's coming back. All right. And he's going to be on a chariot so big. Let's get Ezra's count. It's the second Ezra chapter 13. And I'll start at the top. And as it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. All right. Lord Yahushua and the angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Everything trembled. Everything. The trees, the sea, the people. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So these nations are going to come together to try to subdue Yahushua. Here's a point I want in verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So the chariot was so loud, so huge that Ezra couldn't see where it stopped. You know, and you think about Independence Day, the first one, the chariot is so huge, right? And where do you think these Hollywood producers get their inspiration from? The scriptures, man. All right. Verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. You see? These people are going to be so shook with all that power that you're going to see from these chariots, man. Yeah, one guy, I forgot his name, Edomite looking dude, said the technology of these, of what you call UFOs, chariots of the Lord, they're I forgot how many years behind he said they was in technology. All right, but it's the technology is out of this world, man. Okay, and the Lord's coming back on one, and that, you know, this is gonna be the destruction. Part of that destruction that destroys the good old US of A. All right, you want to know what they are? They are the chariots of who you call God and Jesus, man. All right, the angels travel back and forth. Yep. This is Luke 21, after 25, and there should be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. And we've been seeing these different eclipses, all right, blood moons, things of that nature. These are all signs. It says, and upon the earth, the distress of nations with the perplexity, the seas and the waves warring. men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Luke 21:26, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud. Or that word cloud again. Okay? With power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And we're seeing that happen now. These different chariot sightings, UFO sightings, UAP sightings, unidentified aerial phenomenon, something like that. And we're seeing it, man, and we're rejoicing because we know that this is part of prophecy. And, seeing these things and hearing Esau talks about it, it's just increasing our faith even more. Everything that's happening should be increasing your faith, man. The ups, the downs, the prophecies, all right? It should be increasing to your faith. But anyway, I just want to touch on that, man. Lord willing, let's edify. Until next time I say shalom.